everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to be rescaping my 5-gallon Nano tank. So this one's 40 centimeters by 25 by 25. It's a little bit over 5 gallons, so somewhere between 5 and 6. I've got a cheap light on the top, cheap heater and a cheap filter as well. So this is going to be a shrimp tank primarily, but I might put my better fish back in there at some stage. He gets along with shrimp pretty well, so there's no problems with that. So the plan for this one is to recycle my Monte Carlo carpet that's underneath the white paper towel here. Then I want to create sort of a rock circle, sort of like a crown, and this is going to be sort of a shrine looking thing. Then the rest of the scape is going to be a Monte Carlo carpet with one species of plant in the background. I'm going to be using Bacopa Caroliniana, I think that's what it's called. So just one plant, it's going to be spread along the back, and I'll put a little bit in the middle of the shrine as well. So the rocks I'm using for this build is just simple grey stone. I found this on the side of the road, just an old abandoned roadwork pile. So I just scooped up a few rocks. Did give them a good clean, obviously. Still have a nice bit of an aged look, and they're going to be the centerpiece for this little aquascape. Here's a few different angles on what the hardscape looks like. When you see the final video of this, the tank might actually be in a different position because I do have to move apartments soon, but I'm hoping I can get everything filmed and finalized before that happens. So once I got the main structure in, I just added a couple of little detail stones, nothing too crazy for this build. I want to try and keep it as simple as possible. I know you guys like the cheapest, simplest and easiest tanks, and this is pretty much that. I'll leave a full list of all the stuff I used for this build and a rough price in the description below. So if you want to check that out, that's where it'll be. And now for probably the most annoying part of the entire build, planting the Bacopa. This plant is notorious for floating up. If anyone's used it before, you'll know that it instantly floats to the surface. It seems to be really full of air, so lots of air trapped inside it. And no matter what you do, it really wants to float. So you've got to plant this stuff really deep and get everything compacted around the base really strong. Otherwise it floats straight back up. And especially if you're going to be putting any sort of creatures in there straight away, as soon as they walk on it or crawl on it or swim past it, it starts to float up. So if you do use this stuff, I suggest letting it grow in for a couple of weeks first, or make sure that you plant it really deeply. All of this stuff is from my previous tank, so it does have some roots on it, which will help the process here. And I've also cut it down really short to make the most of it. So hopefully it grows quite quick and nice and dense, because I'm hoping this is going to be a unique kind of Iwagumi looking scape for my shrimp. So the next part of the process is pretty straightforward. I'm just planting some Monte Carlo here. This is some stuff I've been growing in a little container just on my windowsill. If you haven't already tried this stuff, it works really well. Just get some Monte Carlo trimmings, spread them across some soil or some AQUASOIL, cover them up with a bit of cling wrap or something, poke some holes in it, and just mist it once or twice a week and leave it on your windowsill. Grows pretty fast and you can put it straight into your aquascapes like this. Although sometimes it can melt back a little bit, I've found it has a way lower chance of melting than stuff you actually purchase from the shop. So it's definitely worth doing, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper.